Alright, what's up YouTube? Decided I was going to do another evening collector run. Evening for me. I don't know where it is in your part of the world, but it's just after 9 o'clock p.m. here in the East Coast United States. I did this last night, had some fun with it, so thought I'd go ahead and do it again. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that like button for me, click that subscribe button. Hey, what's up, Cassie? Hello, Acid Burns the Goat. How's everyone doing tonight? Well, again, tonight for me. I don't know what time it is for you guys. Although, actually, Cassie, I do know. For you, it's 11 a.m., if my math is correct. I'm doing a second live stream today. Thought we'd try out a different time. Been thinking about maybe moving the time of the live stream to evening. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do 2 live streams a day. But yeah, so I check out a different time slot. Yeah, 11 a.m. See, I got you. I figured it out finally after all this time. It's 2+ hours for me, and then flip AM to PM or PM to AM. In this case, PM to AM. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a little collector run. Go around, collect some family heirlooms. Nothing too crazy. Thought, take it easy. Do a little chat while we ride around on our horse. See if maybe we get griefed. I don't know, I didn't get griefed last night. Well, I did, but before I started the stream last night. Yeah, so Cass, I don't think you were here last night. Kind of taking a different direction with the Red Dead Online stuff. I moved away from the whole Moonshiner Monday, Trader Tuesday thing. No more outfits. No more role outfits. I started designing my own outfits. Pretty happy. I like this one. It's cool. Got a gray vest. Black hat with some bullets. I think he looks like actual outlaw. You're watching Judge Judy. Nice. My mom loves Judge Judy. Every time I'm over there, it's always on. I'm like, how are you watching Judge Judy again? She'll be like, oh yeah, this one. She loves like every episode. Thank you. Appreciate the compliment. Yeah, I always struggled with creating outfits. And then I started playing with some new people. Kind of kept an eye on like what they were doing with their outfits. Not that I copied anybody, but I knew what would fit my character. Thought I had a pretty good idea what would fit my character. Hey, Austin, how's it going, buddy? Doing another collector run. It's funny when she tells them they're idiots. Yeah, she reminds me a lot of like my grandparents. Like my grandparents' generation was very much like that, with the getting frustrated at all the dumb stuff that younger generations do. I think a lot of grandparents are like that. Like, it's part of being a grandparent. But my grandparents in particular are extremely vocal about it. Even to this day, like, my grandmother can barely remember anything. She's got dementia, Alzheimer's. But if she sees somebody doing something stupid, she'll be the first one to tell you about it. She ain't gonna hold back. There ain't no biting tongues in my family. Austin says, gotta talk to my sister. Haven't talked to her in a while. Might be able to meet her in December. Cool, man. Yeah, she sure does tell him how it is. I like people like that. I mean, sometimes it can get you into trouble. I know from personal experience. Open your mouth too much, too loudly, and people get uncomfortable. But my whole thing is, at least you know where you stand with people like that, right? Like, you don't have to worry about, does so-and-so like me? What does this person think about me? Because they're going to tell you. And if they're like me, they're going to be honest about it. They're not going to beat around the bush. But anyway, thanks for joining me. It's 9:15 here. Kids just went to bed. Wife's in bed too, so I think this might be a... If I was going to pick another time to move the live streams to, it would be kind of like around this time. Most of the kids are in bed. I wouldn't want them like screaming in the background. I don't think it'd make for a very good live stream. The only problem with it though is it's a little close to my bedtime. I mean, if I could change my schedule and stop waking up at 4 a.m. every day, this would be okay, but... Sister was getting bullied at school yesterday, and she had enough, turned around and punched the guy in the face. Nice. Broke his nose. Nice. I'll teach him. So, the advice I'm going to give to my kids was the same advice my mom gave to me. And it was like, don't start anything with anybody, but if they start it, you finish it. I never really got bullied. I remember when I was like... maybe like 6th grade, 5th grade. It must have been, actually might not have been that old. I might have been younger. I was still playing with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I don't think I was that old. But this older group of kids was messing with my turtles. One of them stole one, popped the head off or something. I don't know, my mom tells the story all the time. That's like probably the only thing that really happened. It was like older kids. Yeah, seriously, good for her. So yeah, this is just like real chill. I did about an hour and 15 minutes last night. Usually takes about 45 minutes to do these runs. Can take an hour. Last night took an hour and 15. I think I stopped to like shoot somebody. I forget what exactly happened. You did the exact same thing and got in trouble for it? Your mom went down and ripped into the principal and you weren't in trouble anymore? Yeah, I mean, if you're defending yourself, right? But I think the problem is, and we talked about at length on my channel here, just stupid school boards and everybody else, the administrators, right? Unless the other kid fesses up to instigating it, which is not likely to happen, the teachers always see, like, the retaliation, right? And it happens, I mean, I always think about, like, NFL football. First guy will commit a penalty, it doesn't get called. The second guy will, like, push him back or do something, and then they get in trouble. But at the end of the day, there's always replay, you know? But yeah, that's good that your mom went down. Yeah, definitely. That's like my motto, man. I don't ever start anything. But that doesn't mean you're gonna push me around either. Oh, cougar. Where is it? Coming? Here it comes. You gonna get it. Where is it? It's like playing with me. There it is. This horse is tough. I like it. Yeah. So new horse too. That's the other thing I kind of changed up a little bit. That's Morgan. It's my Morgan horse. Named after my daughter Morgan, who loves pink. I had a Morgan horse before, but it was an Arabian. And it sure would not have just done what this horse did. That Arabian would have ran off so fast.
I don't need nothing to do with you out here.
This guy's all mad.
Hear me?
Relax, dude. Just go about your business. But yeah, so I upgraded some outfits. Got some new horses. And just kind of changed my whole... the way I do this game. Another player up here. Oh, probably heard the gunshot. Came looking. I don't know.
I don't need friends. Give us
Actually, I'm not really playing like Posse at all tonight. I'm just kind kind of chilling, riding around, looking for collectibles. But thanks for joining. You're welcome to hang out. We got a cool chat here. A couple friends hanging out. Talking about life. Austin says he gets bullied by women at school? Like what? Like teachers? What do you mean by women? Yeah, definitely hang out. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. I usually do 9 a.m. So like 12 hours from now, I'll be live again doing Ghost of Tsushima. But I wanted to jump in and do a quick collector run. I've been gathering family heirloom sets for the new quick drop pass when it drops next week. So I thought I'd live stream while I did that. Just hang out and talk. Where are you from? What games do you like other than Red Dead? The ivory hairpin is down here, next to the man bear pig house. Some cinematic, just chilling. Judge Judy's pissed at this case. I bet. I feel like she's always pissed in some case. I think it's funny. Her whole thing is she takes on these cases and she gets all mad about it. It's like, you chose to do that. It is entertaining though. They do find some of the weirdest people. There's a lot of people on that show that don't understand it's not in your best interest to talk over a judge. And when they ask you a question, your answer better be brief. Yeah, she's smiling. Yeah, because she knows she's getting paid for it. That's the other thing too, man. She gets frustrated, but she's laughing all the way to the bank at the end of the day. She's not exactly hurting for money. She's like, I'll sit here and listen to these idiots and get paid for it. I would do that. I would do that job. I gotta listen to idiots all day too, but I don't get paid like she gets paid. No, she's not. She's probably one of the most intelligent people, like, as far as famous people go. You don't get to do that job and be an idiot. I mean, you gotta go to school for a long time. Austin has to go and make back. Alright, man. Thanks for stopping by. If I don't get to talk to you again, have a good night. The defendant is keeping this guy's dog, even though a different judge has told her to get the dog back. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing too. A lot of times when that stuff ends up in front of Judge Judy, it's already been, you know, it's not the first time the defendant and plaintiff are going at it. She also can call them what she wants. Yeah, right? You gotta sit there and take it. And at the end of the day, a lot of times, like, she'll get real mouthy with people and then still rule in their favor. Just because at the end of the day, it's the evidence. You know, that's why a lot of those cases, it's like, get something in writing from the other person, like whatever you guys agree to, get it in writing, you're good to go. She's gonna rule in your favor every time. Uh-oh. What's uh-oh? coming up in the house. It's like right here in the backyard. The dude whose dog hasn't been given back, he literally has all the court documentation and all. Yeah, so as long as he keeps his cool, and even if he doesn't really, he's got all the documentation. I'll be surprised if she doesn't rule in his favor. That's what it's all about here in America. I just finished my 9 for 9. That's the other thing too. I did this last night, and while I was doing it, I mentioned how the downside of doing these collectibles at night is the next day you might need it for daily challenge, and that's exactly what happened today. But here we go. I got it. I got my 9 for 9 roll challenges. Horse is fed. I'm fed. So I'm going to the next one. So Copperhead Landing has the metal hairpin today. Go right about here. You don't get how the core works. Yeah, so that's what's crazy about it is here in America, anybody can sue anybody for anything. Just have to have the evidence to support what you're trying to sue them for. So, perfect example is I touched upon this a little last week during the stream. I can't remember if you were there or not. Yeah, you were there. We were talking about how my kids, the news, one of the news channels here was trying to film kids coming out of the school without the parents' consent. Well, that's illegal. I actually confirmed that with our attorney. We have an attorney that I keep on speed dial because with Avery's Down syndrome and special needs, a lot of times people like her will get discriminated against, whether it's intentional or not. So it kind of started last year with the whole mask wearing thing. She wasn't wearing her mask before school started, and it was actually a real struggle all last summer to get her to keep her mask on. Well, at the end of the day, that's not necessarily legal, and even the CDC here in the States was very careful to say that people with intellectual disabilities did not have to wear masks all the time. Like, they didn't want to torture, like, a lot of kids with, like, autism or whatever that are on the spectrum. They don't like wearing hats. They don't like wearing gloves. Anything you try to do to them in terms of, like, clothing, they could pitch a fit. So I actually applaud the CDC for saying what they said. Well, our school district and our governor didn't necessarily go along with that. And I got frustrated because they kept saying, we're following the CDC guidelines, we're following the CDC guidelines, and they weren't following the CDC guidelines. So I contacted an attorney, and at my daughter's next, we call it PDP, it's their IEP, it's like their specialized learning program for kids with special needs. At the next one of those, we had our attorney present with us, and the school had their attorney present with them. It didn't really go anywhere, but if we wanted to, what ended up happening was Avery started wearing her mask more often, and her teacher even said she wears the mask just as much as the other kids do, so it kind of became like a non-issue. But if it persisted, if the school kept persisting that she had to wear her mask, and we had, a doctor's note saying she didn't have to wear a mask and everything, I could have sued the school. I could have sued the school district, and we probably would have won. But it didn't matter. So anyway, kind of tying that into what happened recently with the news channel, if I wanted to sue them for filming my kids illegally, I could do that. It's illegal in the state that I live in to film anyone, especially minors, without their consent. So anyway, once you start that process, your local court may agree or disagree, and if you win, the other party has the option to appeal it to like a higher court. So it goes to district court, and eventually, if it's that interesting, which I feel like our case might have been, it could end up in the Supreme Court, which is where they finally decide, like, okay, you know, this is the law of the land. So in our case, and this is just an example, I'm not saying it would have ever gone this far, it's very possible that we could have made it so that kids everywhere who had special needs were not required to wear masks. You know, again, probably would have cost a ton of money to do that because everything, all this stuff costs money. But that's kind of how our court system works: is I can sue you, you can sue me. Whatever gets decided on the local level then goes to like a district level, and then from the district level it goes to like the federal level, and that ends up being like what they call precedents. A guy is suing this lady for illegal eviction and back pay of rent. Yeah, so that's a whole thing here now too right now. In fact, I think something just happened the other day. I think the Supreme Court upheld that landlords, like there was a pause on evictions. I think since Joe Biden took over as president, maybe even before that. But there was like you couldn't evict someone for not paying their rent because our economy is in such a mess right now because of COVID. Well, the landlord's got to eat too, right? He's got to put food on the table for his family. So they were like, "Whoa, you can't do this to us." So they actually sued, and they just won. I think the Supreme Court just ruled in favor of, you know, now you can evict people again for not paying their rent. People get funny with that kind of thing too. I remember very early on during our election process, I predicted it was going to end up in the courts, and everybody kind of gave me trouble for it. No. Well, guess who was right? This guy. So we ended up. Obviously, there was tons of lawsuits. Most of them got dropped, right, or the judges threw them out. But our election was not over on November whatever, like it usually is every other 4 years. So even stuff like voting for the president of the United States could end up in the court systems here.
Howdy.
The first guy? What guy won in the landslide?
Damn heat rash is killing me.
Do you mind?
Do you mind? No, I don't mind. Do you mind? So this is the ebony hairpin. It is inside of the mayor's house on a 3-seater bench. If anyone is following along. Which this one's kind of, I feel like this one's just here on Sunday, because I was doing a fashion show in someone else's live stream we were doing. It's kind of funny, we go upstairs, we hide, and then we come down the stairs, and the person judges our outfits. And this one was here. What? Is someone in the house with me? The dude that his dog hasn't been given back. Oh, he won? Yeah, I figured. I mean, obviously, if he's got the, you know, they gave us a piece of paper when we adopted our dog. It says he's our dog. It has a picture of him and everything. So it's kind of hard to prove that. It's like, it would be hard for someone else to prove that our dog was their dog and not get our dog back. This is the New Guinea rosewood hairbrush. It's on the back of this mansion here. But yeah, the American court system is an interesting thing. It seems complicated at first, and it is. I mean, when you get into the nitty-gritties of it, it's pretty complicated. But really, like I said, it just becomes anybody can sue anybody else for anything, except for, like, you know, you can't sue a judge. So, like, classic example of that is if you have, let's say you have a criminal, you know, lifelong criminal who's arrested for something like drug possession or something like that, or he robs a convenience store, whatever the case may be, something like a minor charge, nothing too major. and the judge is lenient on him or her when sentencing, and then that person gets out early and kills some people, or a person, you can't sue the judge. Like, if someone, like, let's say that guy got out, killed my family, I couldn't sue the judge for that. I could sue that guy and his family, but you can't sue the judge for it, which I think is actually something they should look at, and maybe change, because a lot of these judges now, they're so lenient on their sentencing. And look, we can get into some of the reasons for that. I'm not saying, there's first time offense type stuff, that's fine. But if you have like a career criminal that a judge goes easy on, and he gets out and kills somebody, you better believe you should be able to sue that judge. Especially if they have like a history of it, right? Like if the judge lets off like 4 or 5 guys easy, and each one of them gets out and murders somebody, it's like a repeated pattern. That judge should not only lose their, get disbarred, not be able to practice anymore, they should be able to be sued by the family. Someone should be held accountable for that. The guy should have been in jail already, and he wasn't, and there's only one person who's responsible for that, it's the judge. Is that on the back porch? Sometimes it's on that front porch right there. It must be on the back today. That's all stuff I'm fascinated by, like our legal system here. I thought I wanted to be a lawyer at one point, or a cop or something, but it wasn't in the cards, and I definitely wouldn't want to be a cop now. Way too much bad press. The pay sucks. You're putting your life on the line. At the end of the day, people don't appreciate it. No, thank you. It's officially spring? Really? You guys must go by a different calendar than we do here. Because it's not officially fall yet for us. It's still summer. I mean, kids are back in school, which kind of makes it fall, but calendar, I don't think officially we're not in fall till like September, middle of September. You've never been in trouble with police? Good. I had a couple incidents. I won't go into too much detail about them, but thankfully, there was like one major incident. Thankfully, I've not done anything my whole life. So since it was my first time with the police and in courts, they like let me go. So I didn't get in too much trouble, but again, I never did anything. No, like I don't remember last time I got a speeding ticket. Yeah, oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's September there for you. Well, it's been September there for you. That was my joke this morning. Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't start fall here until like middle of September. There's like an official day for it. I forget what it is. September 18th or something. But yeah, we got a couple more hours here. 2.5 more hours here before it's September. This is the cherrywood comb. Upstairs, the northeast room in a chest at the foot of the bed. So yeah, this is the bedroom that Arthur and John break into. Spring is September, October, and November. Summer is December, January, February. Autumn is March, April, May, and winter is June, July, and August. So yeah, all of ours are the opposite, but we also kind of officially start ours a little later. Like I know for a fact our winter, which you would be summer for you, doesn't start until like December 20th or something here. Which is weird, because usually it's snowing by then. It's like, I mean, if you look outside, it feels like winter. It's just not like official as far as the summer and winter solstice goes, like the equinox. Your sister's birthday is the only one in the colder months. Yeah, I think I told you my whole family. We all have birthdays from like April 7th through May 9th. So all of our birthdays are in like the same month. Not the same calendar month, but within like 30 something days of each other. No, don't go in there. Where you going, dude? Oh, it's raining. Was it raining before? I don't think it was raining before. Alright, we're going to go up to Southfield Flats. Inside the house in the tall wardrobe is ebony hairbrush. So that's right here. Yeah, your sister's birthday is the 1st of May. That's so right. Yeah, we're right in the same line there. Which is funny that that's winter for you. Well, not really winter. Colder months, like you were saying. Because that's when it starts to warm up here. Brother is the 4th of September. Yeah, that's right. You said his birthday is coming up, right? Turning 16. What is that, Saturday? The 4th? Yeah, Saturday. I'm actually pretty interested. I just thought about this. I don't know why it just hit me. Because I feel like we've been doing the live stream chat thing for a while. So when I'm live streaming on December 31st, morning of, it's going to be like right on New Year's for you there, right? Let me look at the calendar real quick. What day is that? Will I be live streaming? Or is it like fall on a weekend? Which I might have to live stream anyway, just because it's the last day of the year. December 31st is a Friday. So I should be live streaming that day. That'll be cool, man. You'll be in 2022 before, like, while I'm still in 2021. I don't know why that just occurred to me. Ebony hairbrush. Alright, we got one in Valentine upstairs in room 2B, it looks like. Let's go check on Valentine, see if there's any griefers out and about. I feel like enter Valentine at your own risk. Especially these days. We were actually talking about it, so I know you saw the video with the low-level griefers last couple of nights. I brought that up today on someone else's stream, and a lot of other people had the same experience. And the general consensus, actually, I talked about this during the earlier live stream today. General consensus is people are bored, and like the new content, people are bored with it already. Some people were bored with it the first day it came out, but it's like other people are starting to get bored with it. So now everybody's going back to griefing, which I don't know if I buy that either. I think it's probably that people are bored with other games, so they're coming back here to grief. But who knows? It's probably 6 to 1, half dozen the other. Alright, let's head up to Valentine. The biggest V8 supercars race of the year falls on your birthday this year. Cool. Your birthday's in October, right? Or November? Yeah, November. So I probably won't stream tomorrow during the day, but I might do this again tomorrow night. We'll see how it goes. Always depends on what time the kids are in bed. But as far as what I would call the daytime stream, which for you is the nighttime stream, I would say probably not going to happen. My wife is going to be around tomorrow, so we'll probably be cleaning the house or something. And then we have Avery has an eye doctor appointment in the afternoon, so
What are you doing?
probably going to hold off on Ghost till Thursday. You and your cousin are exactly 2 weeks apart in age. Yeah, that's cool. That happens a lot with families. I know a lot of people who it was like they went to go tell their sister that they were pregnant. And the sister was like, "Oh my god, me too." Or in some cases, like I know one of my wife's old coworkers who we kind of hang around with a lot, even though my wife doesn't see her at work anymore. Her and her son are born on the same day, like 20-something years apart, which I think is freaking cool. Yeah, it's birthday dinners, same day. That's cool. I never really had anything like that, but we got a small family. I'm an only child, and then my mom has a sister. She has 3 kids, but they're all like kind of scattered about. All of our birthdays are like different times of the year. And then on my dad's side, he has 3 brothers and a sister. And the only one who also has kids is one of his brothers. So it could be a big family on that side, but 4 of them, or 3 of them, I guess, don't have kids. So kind of a depressing day here in the world of Red Dead. It's like, I don't usually mind when it rains, but this looks gloomy. It's all foggy up here. Not ideal for riding. Valentine will be muddier than usual. Uh-oh, look out. Oh, almost. Your Oma had 7 kids, wow. The horse sounds like it's struggling right now. You know what, dude? Go take a rest. Oh, ran into the tree. Or the pole. Look at that. Oh, he's stuck. She's stuck. Alright, I think it says 2B, but I can't really read it, so we're going to go inspect. That is 2B. Should be on the dresser in here? Oh, there it is. Boxwood comb, right? Yep, boxwood comb. Alright, and then just down the road a little bit is the carved wooden hairpin in between 2 dead trees at Lucky's cabin. Getting close to another 1,000 miles on my horses, which will be the 10th time I've done that, so can't reset that award. But it's still pretty cool. I think it's interesting that the entire time I've been playing this game, level 450, we've traveled just about 10,000 miles on the horse. or on a horse. Multiple horses. Yeah, so your mom has a lot of cousins. Yeah, so my mom has a lot of cousins. Because my great-grandmother, no, hold on, my grandmother was also one of, I think, 7. I did like a whole family history thing on Ancestry one time. It's kind of cool to see like all the different areas of the world my family came from. So my grandfather on my mom's side is half French, half Italian. And then his wife, my grandmother, is like English, Polish, you know, Lithuanian. I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff in her. She's kind of a mutt. And then on my dad's side, my grandmother, his mom, is also French. So it's funny, when you look at me, you would never guess French, but that's mostly my makeup is French. And then there's kind of an interesting thing with my grandfather on my dad's side. His so the guy that he thought was his stepfather for pretty much 90% of his life is actually his real father. So who I thought growing up was my step-grandfather is actually my real grandfather. He has Native American Indian blood. So I got an interesting makeup, to say the very least. And like I said, if you look at me, I don't look Native American Indian. I don't look French. I don't know what I look like. I think people think I'm Russian because I'm tall. Tall and bald hair. Your mom's the youngest of 3? Yeah, my mom's the oldest of 2. And my dad is like, I think the middle, maybe, of 5? Yeah, he must be the middle of 5. Alright, so we're heading down to Blackwater. Is this one inside the tent here? Yeah, on the table in the back of this thing. So it's this building here. I like to park right out here where these roads meet. Is there any nationality you don't have? Yeah, you know, that's the thing. I don't know. I should do one of those tests, but I feel like those tests are fake, too. I mean, I'm pretty well traveled. But I would say mostly French and Italian. Like I said, my grandfather's mom is 100% Italian, like from Italy. It's actually she came here from Italy. Was the first of my family in the country, and then that great grandfather on that side was like 100% French. So again, I'm probably mostly French, but I don't know. My grandmother. My mom's mom is the one who has like all the, you know, the mix. I don't even know if she knows everything. But I know she said like English, Irish, Polish. It's a very English last name too, so. That's the other thing too, my last name technically isn't even really, like I should get my name changed. Because my last name is after the guy that I thought was my grandfather the whole time growing up. And turns out he's not. I made a joke about that. It was very early on after my wife and I had gotten married. And we joked that I should change my name and take her name. But by then she had already taken my name. And actually, no, did she? Or was it before we got married? It might have been before we got married. But it didn't work out that way. She took my name. Now my kids have our name, so. It's funny how all that stuff works out. But even that, like we talked about legal stuff, you could change your name to anything if you wanted to. Family's mainly Australian, part Irish and Scottish on your dad's side, and then German, Austrian on my mom's side. Yeah. Austrian? Yeah, Austrian. I couldn't tell if we were saying Austrian or Australian. It's interesting how different people migrated different ways too. So if you look at it on a map, France and Germany are not that far apart. But my ancestors decided to come this way, and your ancestors decided to go the other way. Yeah. I mean, closer than most countries, right? Granddad was 3 when they came over. Yeah. I don't know how old my grandparents were, but or great grandparents, I guess. But my grandfather was born here. It was just my great grandparents that came over. But yeah, my it's pretty fascinating. My great grandfather, when he came over from France, he didn't know a word of English. He taught himself how to read. That's why, like, when people complain about their station in life, life's not fair. And I'm like, you know what, man? I don't buy that for a second. If my great grandfather could come over from where he came from and teach himself to read and have a successful career and he had 4 kids. So my grandfather's oldest of 4. You know, sometimes you gotta pull yourself up. You can't wait for other people to pull you up. You gotta do it yourself. This is the Ivory Comb. It's right here, this little shack. We'll head down to Thieves Landing. The goat hairbrush is in the lower deck of the ship. Horse looks healthy. Give her a quick brush while I'm putting the waypoint on. Thieves Landing, I usually like to park like right here. Cinematic. So the Australian government announced that anyone older than 14 now can get the COVID vaccine. It's funny you bring that up. Had an interesting interaction, we'll call it, at the dentist today. Well documented how I don't like going to the dentist. We've talked about that before. But I was supposed to go on Friday morning, and because I'm now dropping the girls off at school right at the same time, I had to reschedule my appointment. So luckily they fit me in today, which was nice of them. But then I get there and they start asking me questions about, oh, have you had this symptom? Have you had this symptom? And all this stuff. And I don't know. I get what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to make sure that if I'm sick, I don't go in the office. But you know what? If I felt sick, I wouldn't go in the office. Like, you don't need to ask me all these questions. And one of the questions was whether or not I've had my vaccine. I told them I wasn't comfortable answering that question. And I don't want to get into, like, the politics of the whole thing or whatever, but I just don't think we should be asking people that question. It's a personal health decision whether or not to get the vaccine. Maybe I talked to my doctor and he told me it wasn't for me. Maybe he told me if I got the vaccine that might have an adverse effect on me. You don't know, right? You don't know what conversations I've had with my personal doctor, and you don't have a right to know that. So I didn't tell them all that. I just told them I wasn't comfortable answering the question. And of course, this is all like during a pre-screening before I even go into the office. And they're like, well, they're just going to ask you when you get in the front anyway. I'm like, that's fine. They can ask me. Just tell me when you're ready for me to come in. So they call back like 5 minutes later. We're ready for you to come in now. Okay, come in. And they're like, oh, well, we're just going to assume that if you say that you're not comfortable answering that question, we're going to assume that you didn't get it. I'm like, that's fine. You can assume away. I didn't say that. I didn't say I didn't get it. I didn't say I got it. I didn't say I didn't get it. Oh, here we go. Toxic something. What are these guys doing? This ought to be interesting. Let's see how this plays out. I'm going to flee my horse. I'll try that again. Anyway, back to my story. It became like this thing. I'm like, this is exactly what I didn't want it to become. That's why I didn't want to answer the question. I didn't want to start this whole thing between, oh, you should have the vaccine, you shouldn't have the vaccine. And like, their excuse for why they asked that question was complete bullcrap. They were like, well, you know, back in the 80s when there was an AIDS outbreak, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, but you didn't ask me if I had AIDS. And, oh, by the way, you wouldn't ask me if I had AIDS, because again, that's personal health information. Why don't you, if you're that concerned about AIDS, ask me if I've had AIDS. The whole thing is just stupid to me. People have gone and lost their freaking minds over this thing. Like, it's personal health information. It's between me and my doctor whether or not I got my vaccine. You don't need to know that. And if the whole thing was to assume that I didn't get the vaccine, then you should just assume that from the beginning. Assume everyone that walks in there didn't get the vaccine. In fact, if you really want to be on the safe side, assume that everyone that walks in there has COVID. Don't take any chances, because you know what? There's been documented cases of people who have gotten the vaccine that have then also come down with COVID. So while they're giving me a hard time, they could be getting COVID from people who've had the vaccine. The whole thing is just so stupid to me. Everybody has lost their freaking minds over this thing, and I get it. I'm not being insensitive to people who've passed away. Like, I don't even judge people who got the vaccine. If you get the vaccine, great, awesome. If you didn't get the vaccine, great, awesome. I don't care. I don't need to know either way. This whole idea that, you know, you got the vaccine makes you superior, or that you didn't get the vaccine makes you some kind of rebel. That's just silly. Like, just stop. Stop with people. Leave people the hell alone. And I'll step down off my high horse now. Yeah, they're not your doctor. They don't. And I get, you know, that they're trying to protect themselves. But even that's like, there's no guarantee that getting the vaccine protects you. And the fact that everyone acts like it's some magic bullet is insane to me. Because again, there's already been plenty of documented cases where the vaccine is broken through. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not saying you shouldn't get the vaccine because of these cases where the COVID is broken through. I'm not telling you what to do, one way or the other. And that's my point. We got to stop telling each other what to do. I can't tell you the number of people I've heard have gotten the vaccine and haven't even talked to a doctor about it first. I'm like, what? You made a health decision like that without consulting your physician first? You're nuts. You're the crazy one, not me. Oh, well, they said it was safe on the TV. Yeah. TV says lots of things. Not all of them are true. I'll probably get flagged. This video's probably gonna get flagged. I'm talking about COVID and vaccines. This video is gonna get like 3 views. I don't care. As long as they don't pull it completely, I'll be all right. That's it. Never do anything health-wise unless your doctor says to. I actually had a friend who he kind of has the same stance on me on a lot of stuff. Even though I think he's a registered Democrat, and I'm like an independent, so we're not like necessarily affiliated. But him and I do agree on a lot of stuff. And he put it out there on Facebook. He has like 4,000 friends on Facebook. And he asked. Again, he said, I'm not saying I'm pro-vaccine. I'm not saying I'm anti-vaccine. I just want to know, for those of you who have gotten the COVID shot, did you consult with your doctor first? And a lot of people answered. I think most of them were people who didn't get the vaccine. But there was one guy who was like, I asked my doctor if I should get it, and the doctor literally was like, why would you do that? You're a perfectly healthy 35-year-old. Why would you get a vaccine for something that only affects the elderly? Or mostly affects the elderly. But it's like, you hear stuff like that, and it's like, exactly. Like, I wonder how many people would have actually gotten the vaccine if they consulted with their physician first. Yeah, our government's nuts. It makes no, like, I understand it, I get it, I know why it works the way it works, but some of the stuff that they decide, it's so weird, right? Especially for a country that was founded on, like, freedom from the government. We've now, like, totally turned ourselves over to the government. It's not even just the government anymore either. It's these companies, these corporations. They're like forcing people to get vaccines. If you don't like it, go work somewhere else. It's like, if that's how you treat your employees, I don't want to do business with you. Shouldn't be forcing people to do anything. Not in this country. Not in any country, really, but definitely not in this country, which was founded on freedom. And that's the part that bothers me, because it shouldn't be that confusing. It shouldn't be confusing to people outside. They should look at America and say, yes, I want to live there because people in America are free and they can do pretty much anything they want to, as long as they're not murdering or hurting anybody else. But we've lost so much of that. I mean, it's amazing to me how much has changed in the 30 years that I've been alive. Yeah. No, I know. And I'm not, look, again, I don't want to argue statistics. Young people can definitely get it and die from it. But it overwhelmingly affects the elderly. And if you look at the statistics for young people getting it and dying from it, it's like less than 1% of 1%. And again, to that family, yeah, that's important. But they still haven't approved the vaccine for under 12 here in this country, and that tells me there's got to be a reason for that. I think it does something to, I think the vaccine does something to kids that it's not supposed to. If it does it to kids, what's it doing to everybody else? I feel like it's all just so new. Everybody needs to stop acting like they know everything about it. Another couple years, after we've had more time to research it and understand it better, yeah, then we can talk. But right now, this whole, like, 1,000% you should do this. I mean, I don't know how it was in Australia, but here in the United States, we were only supposed to, like, flatten the curve for 2 weeks. And then that changed. And I understand why it changed. Because the research and the understanding of what it was changed. So if that can happen within 2 weeks, it sure can happen within 2 more years. We'll probably understand more about it in 2 more years. What just spawned here?
Hey, you!
This moonshiner thing just spawned right on top of me. Okay. I wish there were a way to do this without, like, hurting the horses. Well, I guess there is. I can shoot it. I don't want to waste that much ammo, though, man. It's just so much easier to blow this stupid thing up. But then you hurt the horses. Alright. Sorry, horses. Search the area. How about you just point out where they are? Oh, that's right where I was going. Because that makes sense. Let's have a moonshine thing spawn right on top of where collectible is. Look at all this.
Hey, wait! Here they is! Stop!
Here they is.
You ain't got no business being here.
Uh-oh. What is this gun? I had the pump action shotgun on like all day. What are you gonna do? God, I was talking to junk. Is it really gonna kill more horses up here? Come on.
Got you now, you bastard!
Why has it been doing that lately? So annoying. Shoot him! Don't pet the horse. I swear these remotes are messed up. These controls. These horses are gonna die a slow death. That was not a good toss. Try that again. Okay, in between. There we go. Alright, relax. Don't tell me to leave the area. I gotta still get this collectible though. I think it's in here. Probably inside the box. Just. Boar bristle brush. Alright, I think we got one more here. And then we're done with our little run here. Look at this. I guess the horses survive if you do the fire. I didn't realize that. I would have done the other one with fire. Let's just see if I can get any gold teeth. Oh no, you know what? That's not the collector set anymore. It's Tuesday now. I forgot. I was thinking it was still Monday. Technically, it's almost Thursday. Wednesday. Jeez, I'll be alright. I gotta go to bed. Agarita, nice. 400 XP for what? Just for finding that. I've never found an Agarita on somebody before. Usually Agarita's the hard one to find. How big is this area? Come on now. There we go. Rival operation destroyed. Another one. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, we talked about that. To be fair, though, confused by Australian government. Yeah, governments in general. I think they're meant to be confusing. They're meant to be confusing so that people argue about them without understanding it. People think they understand it, but they don't. Alright, so this is the jade hairpin. It's kind of down there. This is, I put it on the map. It's a wagon circle, a bunch of broken down wagons. Appreciate you hanging out again, Cassie. We'll do, like I said, we'll try to do this maybe one more time this week, maybe tomorrow night or Thursday. I don't know. Like I said, I was thinking about moving the time slot to a time that made more sense for everybody. I feel bad that Austin can't join us.
My damn feet ache like a bad tooth.
It'd be great to be able to find a time that works for everybody, but I get it. You know, we're all different places in the world. Part of me was thinking this would be a better time for you too, because You know, usually you're up pretty late at night. Like, I can say morning. It's like middle of the night for you. But I don't know. The other thing too is there's a group that I kind of hooked up with. They play, and one of the players live streams at the same time as I do. And it's like I don't want to compete with her, and I also want to be able to play with them. So I don't know. We'll figure something out. If I do end up changing the time, I'll let you know the person I'm talking about, because what would happen is I'd be spending time in her stream, so you can kind of still come hang out in that stream, see me still play, because I'll be on, playing on her stream, and my voice will be on there. We do party chat, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a lot of things still up in the air, trying to figure some stuff out. Trying to figure out what's best for everybody. You're happy with whenever I stream? I appreciate that, but I also want to be respectful. Obviously, if I start streaming at noon, I feel like it's 2 a.m. your time. You're probably asleep by then. So I know there's certain times that I know won't work, but we kind of figure all that out. I think what we got to do is get everybody back together. Me, you, Austin, Key Girl. Just figure out a time that works for everybody. I'm not saying you guys need to be there all the time once we figure out what time that is, but it'd be nice to have the whole group. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. Anyway, I'm done with this collective run. I'm just heading back to camp right now. I feel like it'd be cool to go back to camp, sit around the campfire for a minute. Yeah, so tomorrow night I'll showcase my third outfit and my third horse I've been riding around with. I say tomorrow night. For you, it'd be tomorrow morning. You don't usually go to sleep till 3 a.m.? Yeah, that's the other thing I thought about too, was getting up early and doing it. Especially if I go back to doing Red Dead Online more consistently after we're done with Ghost. I could potentially do. I mean, I'm up at like 3 a.m. some nights here, but it'd be cool to get out in front of the dailies. Like, most people where I'm from don't wake up until 6 a.m., 7 a.m. It'd be nice to either have the live stream going by then, or have it up already. So people who are searching for like Red Dead dailies, maybe they'll see my video. Maybe we'll get some more followers that way. I don't know. Just a lot of different stuff to think about. It's kind of cool, foggy night right now. Alright, we'll go back to camp real quick.
You're back.
I'm back. Crips is excited I'm back. Let's see, different stew? Nope. Well, it actually is different. I just don't have the materials for it. Alright, let's go hang out by the campfire for a minute. Say hi to Pup. Hey, puppy. Good boy. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I've had some interesting conversations and things to stream. Yeah, that's what it's all about, right? It's funny, when I first started doing this, I thought it'd be like me playing video games, kind of showcasing some of the games I like. And then I quickly realized it doesn't really matter what we play, right? So you've seen recently we've done Assassin's Creed, we've done Ghost. I think it's more about like the hang, right? Like chilling, hanging out, chatting, talking about stuff, current events, family stuff. I think it's cool. So it really changed my mind on what I want to do with this channel. At first I was like, I want 100,000 subscribers, I want to be making money. I'm like, no, I just want to hang out now. Like, hang out, play video games, and have you guys hang out with me. So, if we can find a time that works for everybody, it'd be great. But we'll figure that out. So anyway, I'll be back online probably around the same time tomorrow night. Not gonna do a what I would call a morning live stream, right? So no Ghost tomorrow. Take a break from Ghost. Come back here, do Red Dead tomorrow night, and then Thursday we'll pick up Ghost. So if you're watching this on the replay, you're new to the channel, I appreciate if you would subscribe, turn on the notification bell, drop a like, all those things. And till next time, everyone, take care of yourselves.